morning, everyone. Welcome to Toad TV. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hot. We have our smoothies. Doing our smoothies. I'm saying good morning, even though this is probably going up in the afternoon, right?
Yeah, but
we
we're
got a lot of
filming
work
it
to
in the
do.
morning, yeah.
Okay, welcome to Toad TV. I am Mary Beth,
I'm Helen.
and we are the creative hands and minds behind Toad Hollow. So, I have a couple of updates for you. Thank you guys so much for all your comments about the fabric. We're so excited.
And we're so excited that everybody else is getting as excited as we are. So.
And I'm seeing some suggestions for projects like Halloween placemats that I am absolutely loving. So, yeah, we're going to be doing some research.
Pinterest, here we come.
Helping us create our boards so they're the right way, the way we want them to be.
Yeah.
And one of the things we want to do is add in projects for the fabric on a board and just have everything there together so you can go to the board and see the fabric and then the projects and that kind of thing.
Right.
So we're really excited about that. That's the fun kind of research we get to do.
Yeah.
The other bit of work that we're doing is not as much fun.
Well, it's just, I mean, it's administrative.
Yes.
So, as we've mentioned, we're calling this the state of the yarn.
Yeah.
Because there is a definite shortage of yarn.
Especially fingering weight.
Right. So that when this whole mess started, we shifted our focus online to, rather than just listing what's ready to ship, we opened up all our colors, knowing that we'd have plenty of time, and we would dye pretty much to order. If the color was up, you could buy it. We would dye it within a week and get it out to you. Also, under the assumption that things were working the way we always do, that when we need yarn, our mill is fabulous. We order yarn, and before this, it was to us in 24 hours.
Yeah. If we got the order in by noon, it was with us the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy.
It just crazy between the mill getting it out and FedEx getting the delivery done. And that's all changed. It takes the mill a couple days now to ship our order, and it takes FedEx, if it was a one-day shipment, now it takes 2 days.
Which is all fine.
All we can work with. But if there's no yarn to ship...
So now there's a whole bit where, the yarn's not coming into the country as fast.
Right.
So there's a real shortage on fingering weight yarn in our mill.
And we have found now, with having the yarn up on the site the way it was, we're spending an awful lot of time running around trying to fill orders. And, okay, so we can fill this order next week because the yarn's coming in, but look at that. The yarn sold out and we didn't get any.
Right.
So now we have to, oh my God, what are we going to do? Now we have to figure out which base we're going to use. So we are now going to switch it back to the way it was.
Long story short.
Right. And what we've been working on this week is we are just going to the website and we are only putting in the quantities that are ready to ship. And then if it's not ready to ship, it is sold out. And we will make a determination each week what we're going to dye on what bases. We will let you know ahead of time. We will have regular updates, scheduled updates, so you know when you can go in to buy it. And we're just going to have to go that way so that, we're only selling what we have in stock.
Right.
We're not running around trying to figure out, because...
We had a plan where we have this huge shipment of 100% superwash that's coming.
Right.
It's just we don't know when because it hasn't actually shipped from the mill yet. So it's, if we put up that there's unlimited amounts of this color in superwash and it's taking so long to get to us, it's putting a damper on everything.
And within the last 24 hours, with the state of the Miniskin situation, we've had to take half that order, and now it has to go towards covering advent calendars and things like that. So we're not sure. Once that order sells out, are we going to be able to get that base again? Or are we going to have to switch again to pick another base?
Right.
So, anyway.
Miniskeins. Okay, so we have learned from our mill that miniskeins will not be available before October at the very earliest. So we have some stock in hand that are going to be more than enough to cover the Halloween advent calendar. The Christmas advent calendar, it looks like we're going to be winding off minis, even though you know how I am. There's no way I'm doing that. Well, yes, you are. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's going to be fine.
I was going to say, on your end, if you've purchased an advent calendar, there's nothing you need to worry about.
Nope.
Everything's coming. It's going to all be the same it was. It's going to take us a little more work. But we have had to close the listings for the Halloween advent calendar and the Christmas advent calendar because, we just
Right.
we
Also,
have to fill what we have.
our Miniskin kits, like our Once Upon a Time and Fairy Tales and all that, whatever we have in stock is all that we're going to have
Right.
for right now. So that the Miniskin kits are kind of dwindling out now because we're going down fast, and
We will not be
unfortunately we
replacing.
can't replace them right away.
Right.
So as far as the minis are concerned, those are going to kind of go
Yeah.
by the wayside for right now. Unfortunately, we've checked other mills, and we're not
Just-
finding
yeah.
anybody that's got fingering weight.
Minis.
Yeah.
Not a lot of mills do the minis anyway.
Yeah.
Our mill, I mean, we're very lucky that our mill winds the minis for us. And I hate to do this to people because I hate the whole, you must buy now. However, if you had your eye on a Miniskin set, buy it now.
Yeah, because some of them are already sold out, and some of them are going down fast.
And it could very likely be 2021 before we start replacing Miniskin kits.
So I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah.
However, on
We
Friday,
have fabric.
yeah, no. Also on Friday, there are only going to be 5 of them, but we have a Jane Austen Miniskin kit.
Yeah.
So there will be 5 of those in the store. A lot of ambient noise today. They're doing something with the walkway to our beach, and not our beach, the beach across the street. I think they're repacking it or
Beach.
something. The what?
The Toad Beach. It's
The
Toad
Toad-
Island, so
Right,
it's Toad
the
Beach.
Toad Beach, right. Yeah, they're repacking it or something, so there's a lot of heavy equipment going up. Anyway, what I was saying was 5 Jane Austen Miniskin kits will be going
Right.
up on Friday.
We have, I know we have a lot of ish of Princess Bride,
Pride,
The Lost Words.
that's about it.
Yeah, we may be able to do up some DK Miniskin kits sometime in the future. We just kind of have to monitor.
What everything's going.
Yeah.
Right. So, state of the yarn. There you go.
Back to, the good news is when you order it, it goes out. No more waiting.
Right. Oh, and as Helen was saying, we do have some yarn. We have DK, we have some worsted, we have the Highland wool that we got. So we have some that we're going to be dyeing, and we're going to be dyeing. It's not like we're stopping dyeing. We're
Yeah.
going to be dyeing. It's just we're going to be choosing what we're dyeing, and we're going to open up because we'll have a certain number of slots that will be colors, and we're going to open up some to you guys so that you can tell us what colors do you want us to dye that week, so that we'll have
And
a
that's
couple
more
of
of
slots.
it's not like, a dye to order situation.
Right.
It's going to
It's
be
more-
more, hey guys, on our Instagram stories, do you want Moonstone? Do you want Lady Defiance?
Right.
And that
You
kind
guys
of
get
thing.
to vote and
Yeah.
and put your 2 cents in as far as what we should be filling in colors with.
And there'll be plenty of yarn available. It's just that the whole canon will not be available at all times.
Right. Right.
And some are going to have to be weeded out colors just because if there's no call for them, they will no longer be available.
right.
On that note, if you would like a sweater's quantity of something, just shoot us an email.
Yeah.
And it may be, the answer will more than likely be yes. It's just maybe the time frame may be a little longer.
Right.
So we're not, this is it. It's just,
Oh yeah, no, definitely not. And anybody who has placed an order so far, I
everything's-
think we're pretty much. I think we have one thing to dye, and then we're caught up with everything.
could be 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's getting. We're almost done. The yarn that we dyed over the weekend is almost dry, so those will be going out tomorrow. So if you're waiting on yarn, it probably is going out tomorrow.
Right.
Miniskin kits that you guys ordered that we had to dye for, like the Keeper of Lost Things, those we dyed. It's just we dyed the exact amount that we needed, so there weren't any left over. Because normally what we do is we dye 20 of a kit at a time, so we'll have 20 kits ready to go.
Right.
And what we're doing now is if we need 4, we dye 4, and that's it.
Yeah. And that's
I
it. And
hate doing it this
Right.
way, but
Especially since the minis have been so popular, it
I know.
stinks. But I mean,
we shall see.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Questions and comments.
On to happier notes.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple people asked if we are going to be using the fabric for making bags. And yes, that was one of the main reasons we got the fabric,
Yeah.
was because we wanted to get cool fabric to make bags, and we thought, we're a business. We really should be, not paying full price for fabric.
Right.
So it means getting bolts of it, and there's some that we're not going to want to make an entire bolt's worth of bags for, so we thought, all right, well, let's open it up and see if anybody else wants fabric.
Also, you may have noticed that we are not making bags as profusely as we used to.
Yeah.
So that, it takes us a while to get through a bolt of fabric for
Right.
bags, so have it available by the yard as well.
Let's share.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Teresa wanted to know if we ever go to the beach. She is a delicate princess,
I am.
and she can't.
I can sit under an umbrella.
There are people over there.
And I don't like being outside.
I know. Okay, so here's a story. Yesterday, we don't want to go out among people, but you take away our TV, and we'll
It's
first
amazing
ourselves.
how fast I will, put some decent clothes on and get in the car and drive off to that.
As far as we can understand, the motherboard of our TV went, because we would turn it on and it would turn itself off immediately. The motherboard went. Okay, so we had to replace the TV because we need our TV.
There is nothing so disconcerting as when you sit down to relax and watch TV and the TV just clicks itself off. Okay, TV, don't judge me.
Right? Stop judging Netflix.
And I said to her, as we're driving off the island, some people would say, oh, all right, well, maybe I'll sit and cross stitch and listen to a book, or, or I'll
Listen
just
to music,
sit
or
and cross stitch, and
maybe go for a walk.
or maybe I'll sit out on my back porch in the 100-degree heat and cross stitch.
No.
Not, oh my God, the TV's gone. We have to go to Target.
So we have a new TV. It's a very nice TV.
She's beautiful. She hasn't got the greatest sound system yet, but
We're working on it. So, Teresa, no, we don't go to the beach. Have you guys been seeing the things about the sharks off New York? I mean,
Yeah.
they closed a bunch of Long Island beaches because there's sharks and the stingrays that are
they're
coming.
coming in and saying, "There's a pandemic, you stupid people." Go home.
I'm going to enforce 6 feet separation.
You will not be in my water.
Right?
You take your,
I don't
you
want
take
the
your
COVID.
disease. Take the COVID. Anyway, we do.
There are sharks
Occasionally,
over
we
there.
do discuss. Hey, we should go for a walk on the beach.
We live across the street from
the
a
beach.
gorgeous
We
beach.
should go for a walk on the beach. And laziness is a very strong factor, but
I
also
have said many, many times, I may be one of the laziest people on the face of the earth.
I was thinking about it this morning. We work fairly hard,
Yeah.
so that when it's not, it's just you just kind of want to sit for
Yeah.
a minute. And once I'm sedentary, it's very hard.
I am going to reiterate, people. Okay? There are people over there.
Also, back to I get extreme sun poisoning, so even
As
with
I said, feel like a princess.
SPS 50, I still get rashes and everything if I go out in the sun. I'm a vampire. So
She and Drew hide under the stairs together so the sun doesn't touch them.
also, all the bugs love me.
They do. They really do. I read something where it depends on your blood type. I have the right type of blood type because they do not bite me as much. If all I have to do is walk next to Helen, and I'm pretty much safe. So we do have a lovely back porch that we should make more use of, and hopefully when it cools down a little bit,
Yeah.
we got an umbrella. We
Yeah, we got everything all set up. We have our herb garden out there on the porch. We have some flowers.
It looks so pretty.
It looks very pretty. And then, you know,
Heat.
Mother Nature decided to scorch the earth.
Right. We're getting through our heat wave, and hopefully
today is hopefully the last day for a little bit.
Right. Okay.
So no, we don't.
L. Lyons says, can you tell us your life story, how you came to live together, when you learned to knit and crochet, who taught you, what got you into dyeing, etc. My mom and I started watching you a while ago, and I got my first skein of yarn for my birthday. I loved getting a note from you. She is on palliative care, and her mom is her caregiver, so watching podcasts like ours is something that they get to do together. So,
which is so nice. Thank you.
yes, thank you very much. Okay.
We started living together when I was born.
We are sisters. In case you haven't figured that out, we are sisters. I am older by 3 years. So 3 years
Yeah.
she came along and,
Ruined everything.
yeah, well, no, because more kept coming. We are 2 of 6 children. I'm number 2, she's number 3. And
We moved out of the house together. We went to college, did graduate work. And then when I was done we actually kind of both finished the graduate work about the same time.
yeah,
Because I went right in and you worked a couple of years first.
yeah. I went for a master's in education, and Helen went for finance.
Yeah.
She was going to take the CPA exam, and then she came to her senses. We have a mother who took the CPA exam, and I don't know if you know anything about it, but it is one of the most difficult exams to take.
They
And
say
she's-
very few passed in the first time.
She is one of very, very few people who passed on the first try. That's what we have to live up to.
Yeah.
We
And
are huge disappointment. No, we're not. We're really not. She's so intrigued by everything we do.
it was just at the time when I finished the accounting courses, because we both have liberal arts degrees, undergrad. My husband did education, postgrad, and I did the accounting because education. Helen and the little children is
Do
not
not mix. However, I will say that one of my first teaching jobs, somebody told me being a kindergarten teacher was the greatest form of birth control, and I can attest to that because after teaching kindergarten for 12 years, no thank you.
No.
Anyway, go ahead.
But while I was working while I was taking the accounting classes at night, and I was doing property management, and one of our biggest tenants was the big accounting firm Deloitte & Touche. And I watched those little drones. And as I was getting ready, I was starting to study for the CPA exam, and I would just go to work, and I don't want to do that.
No.
And I knew that if I took the CPA, that would kind of put me into that box.
Yeah.
And I
Difficult to get out of.
I didn't want to be in that box. So I opted not to take the CPA exam. I stayed in finance and accounting. And
Just to do with property management.
yeah,
And construction.
and construction and real estate. But
Yeah, the best thing we ever did for Helen was open a store and let her express her creativity because she wasn't working 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 or whatever on numbers and bills and that kind of thing. And when we opened the store and she got to start doing the windows and stuff like that, it's just like she blossomed.
yeah.
So
But we started online first.
yes, in 2003. Actually, no, we started by selling teaching products because I wasn't teaching anymore, but I knew that there was a need for teaching things like bulletin board kits and stickers and books and things like that. So we opened up a booth at a local flea market that had...
It was an indoor mart kind of thing.
And we opened a booth there and we started that, and
We were living separately at the time. We had
Right.
split by that time.
we split for a couple of years. And then
She was working in the southern part of the state, and I was working in the northern.
And then we kind of converged on Central Jersey and joined forces again. And then we started listing things online. And we thought, all right, we'll try eBay, see what happens. We had posters that went with Curious George and
And it was all
Angelina.
stuff left from the market
Right.
when you close that part up. And it was just like, we have this room full of inventory, we gotta get rid of it.
So we thought, let's try it on eBay, and we sold so many of them in the first night that we thought, okay, maybe this will work. And we learned very quickly, you don't send posters flat. You get tubes and roll them and put them in. We learned a lot. There was a lot of stuff. We also learned that selling little $1.99 sticker packs, not gonna make you a whole bunch of money.
Right. And bulletin boards makes you no money because you spend what little profit you make on it on the packaging.
Right, because
to
you
get
had
it to ship out properly.
We were shipping it between 2 pieces of cardboard that we were cutting down from boxes, and it would take forever to pack them. And then you had to wrap it. Oh my God.
So that was all online. And then we switched to stuffed animals online.
So we started with teaching supplies, and then we went to a gift show, and we were thinking of bringing in stuffed animals that had to do with the books that we were carrying.
Oh, right, because we saw Merrymakers, yeah.
So we were going to bring in the stuffed animals that went with the books that we went to. So we went to the gift show. I knew about the International Gift Show because I worked at a gift store down here on the island while I was teaching, so I went in with the owners of the store a couple times. So we went into the gift show at the Javits Center, and as we're walking through, we found Jellycat.
And I've always had a penchant for stuffed animals.
Yeah, neither of us ever did dolls. We always did bears and stuffed animals. I am looking at a row of Jellycats on the table behind us.
Yeah,
anyway,
we have the retired Jellycats that we kept.
So we found Jellycat and fell in love with them. They're an amazing company. I love the people that work there. So we brought those in, and we started doing those, and then we started bringing in slowly more and more toys as we found other things that fit.
Right.
We brought in more toys and slowly phased out the teaching supplies, and we were doing more toys. And that was, I mean, we did that online.
That was about 2009, 2010.
Yeah. And then in 2011, Helen lost her job. She was made redundant in her job. So we said, all right, let's open a store. Let's actually open a store. Take the next step and open a store. And I said that there was no way that she got to do that by herself because I was working in a construction job that I hated. So I'm like, I quit.
Yeah.
Gave him my 2 weeks notice and left. So we opened up the store, and we were there for...
And that was one of the funniest jobs I ever lost. Because he told me that they were getting rid of me, or well, they were getting rid of my job. And it was like, you know, it was an amorphous kind of thing. We're going to phase you out. So then I made plans. Surprise. And I remember telling him, okay, you know, so you're not picking a date, I'm picking the date. And I told him what day I was leaving. And then it was like getting down to the last week, and I'm like, you know, you should probably start making plans because I'm leaving on Friday. And he threw a hissy fit.
He didn't really think you were going to leave.
No, he didn't. He just did not think I was going to leave, and he just, I mean, threw a hissy fit. And then he wouldn't speak to me for the week.
Just as well.
Yeah.
Child.
Anyway, so we moved to the store.
Yeah. So we opened a store.
Yeah.
And we started as toys, and then morphed into gifts, and then morphed into more homemade items. And when we started dyeing yarn, we went offline, or we went off the storefront altogether and went completely online.
And as we were doing this from 2011 to 2015, that's when we had the stores. I mean, the course of retail was changing.
Oh, very much so.
Especially in New Jersey. It's a very expensive state.
The town that we started in, when we opened our store to begin with, we had foot traffic all the time. We had people coming in. They'd come to go to dinner because the town had a lot of really great restaurants. So they'd come into town to go to dinner, and they'd walk around while they waited for their table, or on their way back from dinner, they're walking past our store to get to the parking lot, and they'd come in. We always stayed open till like 10, 11 o'clock at night because we knew you finished dinner, got a little wine in you, you're a little bit more excited about buying things, you know? So we always had lots of people in after like 5, 6 o'clock at night, and then all of a sudden they brought in valet parking where you drop your car at the restaurant, the valet takes it and parks it, and then brings it back to you, and we lost all that foot traffic.
And also, slowly but surely, the the smaller, more interesting companies or stores just could not afford to do it anymore.
Right.
The rents are just so ridiculously high that you can't sell enough to do it in this state. So that you started to see the shift, not only in Red Bank where we were, but Montclair and all the destination towns were going to restaurants.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't the need necessarily to come into town early to walk around and window shop or whatever. So that we started to see that the course of retail was changing, so we went our way. And now, with the COVID, who knows what's going to happen to retail?
Yeah.
It's going to be...
We do know that it's COVID-19, not the COVID. It's just a friend of ours calls it the COVID, and we find that very funny.
Yeah, it's good. We're always very interested to see what other retail shops are doing, and now I'm very interested in how
it's going to turn out.
Retail's going to change,
yeah.
Especially in a place like New Jersey where the rents are so high that you need such a high volume, and you can't get the high volume anymore because you can't have that many people in the shop and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Blah. So.
No, we've been watching a lot of stores that we know the owners, and sadly, many of them are closing just because clothing stores, if you have clothing, if anybody tries it on or touches it, it's got to come off the floor for over 24 hours before it can go back out again. And it's just, it's crazy, with everything that's going on. So.
And you just have to be, on the ball, rolling with the punches new information comes out daily.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crazy times.
Yes.
Crazy times. Did you guys see the thing where they're the murder toads? The killer toads.
It was so funny. It was a thing on Facebook. It was like, okay, who had murder toads for August?
What else is Mother Nature going to throw at us? Really? Okay. When did we learn to knit and crochet? I learned in high school. Learned from the nuns. I went to a Catholic high school, so that's where I learned. And I really picked it up in college.
I learned to knit from my mother.
And crocheting we taught ourselves.
Yeah, and then I picked it up later after college. And crocheting is just the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, no, I didn't start crocheting until probably 4 or 5 years ago. So it was actually, we're in our 4th year of podcast, or we just finished our 4th year of podcasting, so probably 3 years, because it was probably a year in.
Heather came to teach at the shop.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Okay. I hope that answered all your questions.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that does it.